Welcome to Water into Wine, a podcast with Father Charleston Wilson, rector at Church of the Redeemer in Sarasota, Florida. I'm Greer Ferguson, the communications director at the church. Father Charleston is a priest, husband, father of two, Anglophile, sock enthusiast, Motown fanatic, and proud native of Linden, Alabama. Oh, and a wine connoisseur. We're sitting down to chat with him about how to invite more grace into your life, how to develop a deeper relationship with God, and how to enjoy a great glass of wine. We're meeting at the intersection of music, faith, wine, and a good helping of modern cultural references. Put it all together, and we're telling the story of God's love and bringing it to life in a fresh way. Join us right here for casual conversations with your spiritual sommelier. Today we're talking about walking, and we're opening a bottle of wine to start the conversation. What are we drinking, Father Charleston?
Well, we are going. Oh, hey, Greer, how are you? I forgot to say
hi.
hello. Hi, nice to see you. Great to be back with you. Boy, howdy. We are having today a 2023 wine called Climat from Santa Barbara County. It's a Pinot Noir. And if you're price conscious, this is about $28, but easily drinks like it ought to be $228. It's one of my favorite wines, and I hope you love it.
Favorite wines, period.
It is.
Wow.
And it actually has a pretty cool story, and maybe you'll let me share a little bit about it.
We'll see.
If I promise to behave, I can have
We'll
dessert.
see how we do. So why this wine for today's episode?
Well, the man who created this wine is a guy named Jim Clendenin, and he entered the marketplace. This is Southern California. Most Pinot Noir, you think Northern Sonoma. It's the more well-known Pinot. Mm-hmm. But Jim built a reputation for creating wines that at the time bucked a big trend. And the trend was over-extracted, heavy California sort of fruit bombs. So just too much, frankly. And he, through literally walking all over Santa Barbara County and also through restraint and training, really is the walking metaphor, exercise metaphor. My wife, Malaysia, walked the Camino and did training for that. And this is brought into this wine because it doesn't feel like a heavy power lifter. This is more of a trained athlete. Now, you're speaking to someone who's an untrained, avid indoorsman. So for me to even speak about what an athlete does, Run Reed is here. He's athletic. He runs all over town. So he gets this. I am sort of out really over my skis talking about any athletic training, unless it's like a hot dog eating and contest with a red wine drinking contest. But I could win that. I am the world champion in that, reigning champion. But this is like an athletic. This is an elite athlete who's been training for years. Is what this wine is to me, and because some of the California Pinots, frankly, I don't think. If you just all of a sudden bulk up and like power lift and get huge, no offense to all the power lifters who listen to our podcast.
Right. It's our key demographic.
That's not to me really fine-tuned athleticism. I'm sorry to say. I mean, I'm sure it has lots of benefits and we'll get some hate mail about it.
They're not listening anymore.
They're done. We just lost a key demographic. And they pulled all their advertising dollars. And it does take real training and walking. Lean fitness to make this. So that's how I'm relating it to walking.
Yeah, I like it.
Can we smell it and taste it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Beak in the glass.
Swirling.
Favorite sound incoming. Ooh, 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 ooh. I love this. We don't need a lot of red currants, but yep, there it is. Strawberry, raspberry, blood orange. Anybody? That's on my mind.
Yeah.
That's on my mind because I had a blood orange martini the other day with fresh blood oranges. It was delicious. This is what, dark cherry do you get?
Yeah.
Kind of a cooked plum.
Calamandan oranges?
Yes, ma'am. Go for that. The skin of a yuzu, or what is skin of yuzu skin? just kind of like an orange or a Meyer lemon. No, there's no Meyer lemon to that. It's got a look. It's really delicate, but racy acidity. Touch of rhubarb maybe to it.
Rhubarb pie.
I love rhubarb pie. That was not a Southern thing. And when I moved to Wisconsin, I got all into rhubarb. And then I've studied. I took a term at a certain university in England one time, and rhubarb's big there. I can't get enough rhubarb, so I do get.
You don't hear that sentence a lot.
You really don't, and it's a shame. I don't like exceedingly sweet desserts.
Yeah.
And rhubarb is something that can bring a tart dimension into something that's too sweet. And I do get, frankly, a decent amount of rhubarb in the nose and on the palate, particularly the mid palate. That's the middle ugly section of the tongue.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting an anatomy lesson as well.
Yes. So that's the part you see. If somebody sticks their tongue out at you and it kind of bunches up, that's the part you see, the mid palate.
Okay. And that's what you taste, not
that's where I taste.
but...
Yeah, not up front on the tip, but as it comes across, that's what I'm getting quite a bit of rhubarb. We do like to pair this. We try to do food pairing because we've said rather not nicely that an elephant with a paintbrush can pick a wine, but it does take a little more work to figure out what it goes with. Honestly, I know it's not the trend, but I like this with grilled steak. Yeah, everybody wants a big Napa Bomb cap or, with the steak, but I actually like this, particularly if it's simply grilled. You need to avoid heavy marinades, but it just cuts through, particularly a New York strip. It just cuts right through it.
Yeah.
It cuts through the savory. I actually had this wine with grilled pork chops on Sunday night, fairly simply grilled.
Loaded baked potato?
No, actually, it was a Canadian wild rice au gratin that I did with it. It went well with that too.
Canadian wild rice?
Yeah, Minnesota makes a nice long grain too. I get it off Amazon, actually, the brand. I can't remember the brand, but real wild rice. Uncle Ben's is not.
Yeah.
Real wild rice.
Oh, we've lost that advertising.
Now they've pulled their advertising. Power builders, bodybuilders, and Uncle Ben's champions. We are going out of business. This is our final episode, ladies and gentlemen, and so it's been a gift to be here with you. This that pork chop I paired with it had a little tomato chutney aioli, and it worked just with it. And I even did a wine dinner a few weeks ago. Believe it or not, I paired this wine. Brace yourself, dear listener, with dessert. It was actually a strawberry and blueberry tart with a big dollop of whipped cream.
Oh.
And I was trying to...
that sounds good.
I was actually trying to prevent palate fatigue. Yes, it's a real thing.
What is that?
When you have a long dinner with a lot of different wines, it all sorts running together by about course 5.
Yeah.
And this was a reset. I said, I'd like to do something out of the box and kind of a reset. We were on a series of big, bold flavors, and I needed to play off of it and reset. And I didn't want to do a sweet white wine, a dessert wine, classically. I said, let's shake it up.
Too cliche.
So we did this one. Some people call Au Bon Climat ABC because it's easier to say than that French phrase.
Oh. That's cool. The insiders.
Yeah, ABC. Wasn't that the Jackson 5? It's easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. That's something you and me, girl. Yeah.
And this is something you can buy widely in stores?
You can. I think because of some things I've been doing lately with it, I hadn't seen it around town. I think I bought all the stock. But of all the places, Alpine Steakhouse, I walked in there to get a piece of meat, turned around, and there's like 6 bottles of that sitting in that 79-degree room. But I would go ahead and scoop it up now and take it home.
Well, you heard it first here.
Yeah, maybe we'll get their advertising now that we've lost Uncle Ben's.
All right, we've turned it around.
And if it's, I know you've tuned in probably to hear more about theology, maybe because you're a theologian, but the guy who started this was a cool cat. I met him. He used to come to Birmingham a lot. Jim Clendenin was his name.
Who started this winery?
Who started this. He was originally from Akron, Ohio, which is not exactly Santa Barbara.
Not a wine capital of the world?
It was 200 years ago, actually, in America. The Ohio River Valley was the capital of U.S. wine growth, but that's not about what we're talking about today. He was supposed to be a lawyer, and he was in his junior year went to Bordeaux and Champagne for the summer and said, bye-bye. He stuck his tongue out to law school and his mid-palate. And I had a similar thing happen to me. I ended up living in Bordeaux for 3 years, but I've never owned a vineyard and I've never had a ponytail. He had this really cool ponytail, and I've never done a lot of LSD, which he did. But and some of our dear listeners, of course, you do. But God forgives all. Jim was sort of Woodstock personified in a lot of ways, but a real pioneer for whom I'm thankful. We need disruptors in every industry, and he really was a cultural disruptor.
Mm. Well, it's not too late for you to have a ponytail.
My hair is like a helmet. How would I ever get it into a ponytail?
I don't know.
You have a ponytail.
Yeah, it's the only hairstyle I know how to do.
It looks good on you. Just stay off LSD. Say no to drugs.
Yeah, good life advice here.
Say no.
Let's try to get back on track here.
Okay, good luck.
Back on the walking path, shall we say? Because
I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight.
Our topic today is walking, and we are going to talk about how walking is a frequent metaphor used in the Bible, what it means to walk with God, and how we can all walk toward Jesus. So you've said before, and you said it just a few minutes ago, Father Charleston, you said you're an avid indoorsman. So does that mean you're not a fan of walking or exercise in general?
That's funny. I am an avid indoorsman, but I detest recreational sweat, by which I hate exercising as a thing.
So it's okay.
And I don't understand it, and it makes no sense to me. And there is nothing more uncomfortable for me than to walk in a gym.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it.
Yeah. But you're okay if you're sweating if you're doing yard work or vacuuming.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Or cooking.
If it's for a purpose.
Yes. That's different. It's recreational sweat that I detest.
Okay.
However, because we're all a corpus mixtum, we're all a mixed body. We're all crazy, as a polite way of saying that. In the South and growing up in Linden, the only difference between eccentric and crazy was how much money you had. And if you were eccentric, you were a little more of means. And if you were poor, they just said you were crazy. And I think everybody's crazy and eccentric at some level. But and to that point, I love to walk. I love walking.
But slowly.
Oh, thank you for noticing. Yeah, no, actually, my children can't believe how fast I can go in an airport.
Yeah.
I can leave my son, who is athletic and who does love recreational sweat, leave him in the dust.
Because you are trying to catch a flight, make a flight?
I just don't like the strolling. Let's get where we're going.
Yeah.
To the lounge, to the gate, and to the car, to the destination.
Okay. All right.
But I love to walk. Thanks for asking. But I'm not going to walk that Camino
I guess I did ask.
that everyone's walking.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them, but I've seen pictures.
That's too many miles.
Too many, way too many.
But you can do just a portion of it.
Could. Since we've been talking about drugs, did you know they have the biggest thurble, the big device that you put incense in that cathedral?
Uh-huh.
It's massive. It takes several people to operate, and it swings all the way.
Is it St. James Cathedral?
Yep.
Where the Camino ends?
It ends there, yeah.
Okay.
And that huge thurble that you can Google it, no joke, a few years ago, some local teenagers put pot in it.
Oh, no.
And they were fined and got in trouble. But some of the participants at church said it was the most relaxing service they'd ever been to. I'm not kidding. You Google it.
Don't try this at home.
Do not do that here.
Or at Redeemer.
Do not do that at Redeemer.
So tell us more about why do you think the Bible uses walking so much as a metaphor?
Okay. This is my guess, but it would be the synthesis of how I read the Bible. When we're talking about relationship to God through Jesus, in the power of the Spirit, what is important is proximity, not pedigree. Look at you, Charleston. You just came up with something. I'm holding my head and my arms are in the air because I'm thinking really hard.
Yeah, this is a moment where I am thinking that I'm glad this isn't a video podcast.
Yeah, we were just talking about bringing in video, but it looks like I'm having an aneurysm while I'm trying to explain something here. It just helps me get my wits about myself. Yeah, it's proximity, not pedigree. I think you and I spend so much time cultivating the pedigree section of our lives, whether that's curating the image or getting the right degree or the husband or the job or the car or the gym membership. Wherever you go, she sweats or whatever it is. And
yeah, that's it.
and her health or something. It's so bizarre. And we're so busy with trying to measure up to live up. And really, it's not about pedigree. It's about proximity. And this is one of those times, really, one of the podcasts where in most of the podcast, I'm always talking about we don't have a lot of control. Let go of control. Chill out. God's in charge. Enjoy that. Rest. Enjoy your forgiveness. All caps, exclamation. Let God take the lead. But in this cast, this one is for you, dear listener, if you really want to do something, because you can walk closer to Jesus. It's about the whole life of Christianity is proximity, not pedigree, not trying to impress God, not trying to measure up to your very difficult mother-in-law or your sister, but being closer to God. So, yeah, you have to walk in love as Christ loved us, as St. Paul says.
So what does it mean to walk with God?
It is twofold. And again, I'm holding my head and thinking real hard here. It is a spiritual walk. So a spiritual walk, a good way to start that, if you've never had a spiritual walk, don't be afraid if you look like a bumbling. You've seen an infant when a little baby tries to first walk and there's a lot of stumbling around. That's fine, except that there are going to be some bumps along the way. But start walking today. Or I love the image, and there's a whole set of YouTube. They make me laugh. Actually makes me happy. You can watch babies being caught by their dads. They love to be tossed up in the air and they giggle the whole way down. That's a wonderful image of Christian trust. Of you, even though you feel like you're in the air, that baby's up in the air, not a care in the world, because that baby trusts above all else that Daddy will catch me.
Yeah.
Those are practical things. Jesus says, of course, also to the point of let's all get walking, let's all get moving towards God. Him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out. So he does want us to walk towards him. Yes, of course, grace always comes before, but it also compels, as St. Paul says in the scriptures, for the love of Christ compels us. It moves us. Ask yourself some questions. In what direction am I walking spiritually this week?
Meaning,
am
toward
I walking,
or away from?
Yeah, the basic, yeah. Am I walking toward God or am I walking away? And why am I walking away? Is it because I'm embarrassed for something I did? That's usually rooted in pride, actually. Am I despairing over something I didn't do? That's also usually rooted in pride. You look at yourself and go, I can't believe I did that. Oh, come on, you're just a mere mortal. Of course you could do that. Why are you walking away? Maybe you're angry, and anger has a good way of closing out God. So it's a really good, this is a wellness check episode. Which way are you walking? Ask yourself that. Am I walking to Jesus or away from Jesus? And why am I doing that? What is my motivation?
And if a listener asks themselves that and determines they're walking away from Jesus, what can they do to change that?
The easiest thing in all the world is to stop in the name of love. Yeah, truly, to stop in the name of love when you realize you're walking away. And the greatest surprise in life, I'm paraphrasing now, you've triggered a memory in a good way. Phillips Brooks, the great American priest and preacher and hymnist, and he said the greatest surprise in life lies in stopping, turning around, and realizing that God has been there all along. Meister Eckhart says beautifully, if you have lost God, which we might interpret as saying I've walked away from him, the way you can find him is to go back to the place you last remember him, and there you will find him. That is very helpful for people who have been walking, or can be helpful for people who've been walking away from God for decades.
Yeah.
And don't really know where to turn. A great place to start, says Meister Eckhart, a medieval German theologian and monk. He lived in what is now France, probably because they had better food than Germany, but we probably just lost all our German supporters too.
Man.
But it's a good way to start. Go back to where you last remember him, and you'll find him there.
What if you never had faith to begin with?
It makes it a bit more challenging, doesn't it? Interestingly, though, if you may not believe it because it may be all up in your head, or this is why a good spiritual director is very helpful. If you're asking those kind of questions of yourself, like, did I really ever have faith, or am I looking for faith? You've got a heck of a desire there. I mean, sometimes we talk about the want to. I want to have faith. Is that enough to be the mustard seed?
Yeah.
And I say it is. If you want to have faith, dear listener, I'm telling you, God's got something to work with.
Yeah.
There's a mustard seed right there. And that seed can grow into an amazing tree and canopy, and where you'll find rest, true rest for your soul. So let's get walking.
You mentioned a second ago having a spiritual director. And I think, we hear that phrase sometimes, Christians do, but I don't know that we totally know what it means. Some of us do, probably.
I'm
not
so
sure
glad
that
you
I
said.
totally know what it means.
I'm really glad you said that, because the church has a horrible habit of using what I would almost call clinical terminology that is devoid of pastoral love and application. So thank you. God bless your head. A spiritual director, without sounding overly clinical, is someone you trust, who is a person of faith, and you feel comfortable around that person talking about your faith, to pray together, to talk together, to come alongside you. Parakaleo, the Holy Spirit, the Paraclete, literally means to come alongside. So this person, he or she, comes alongside you in your walk of faith, and you zoom out about 30,000 feet together. You might meet once a year, you might meet quarterly, whatever. You might do this on Zoom. In fact, my spiritual director's in another country, and we Zoom. And you zoom out, and you talk, and you pray, and importantly, you listen together. It is not formulaic. It is not like going to the eye doctor and checking for retina issues. It is not like that, or the dentist.
There's no workbook.
No, there's not a workbook, and it sounds so cold and dissecting, and the term spiritual director sounds like, yes, I'm going in for my autopsy. And that's not at all what it is. Yeah. It is truly about walking in love and having someone come alongside you in the power of the Spirit.
And should that person be someone who has more knowledge than you do in Christianity or faith?
That's hard, because we don't want to make Christianity all about like something to master in the knowledge department. Then it would be Gnosticism, right? It would be you would have sort of gradations of, I'm a smart Christian, you're not. And even the scriptures, some of those great prophecies, and a child shall lead them. And St. Paul, the foolishness of God is smarter than the wisdom of man. So there's always the turning upside down of wisdom as Christians. So I'm a little scared to say this person needs to look and act like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm a little nervous about that, although he or she, I think a she would want to look like Obi-Wan, but the person
or a he
does not have to be Obi-Wan Kenobi and look and feel, but maybe, which is fine. My spiritual director is 90. So it may not, I do think he's very smart. He's way smarter than I am, but it's not the brain that I'm after with him. the time spent on earth
Wisdom.
and his heart
Yeah.
are the two things I'm after. So that's a long way of saying you're looking for the heart of someone who is spirit-filled in the very best sense of that word, not necessarily charismatic.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of spiritual directors are very quiet
That's interesting.
because they feel at a place of contentment and delight.
Yeah.
St. Augustine writes a lot about delighting in God. And a lot of times we forget to do that.
Yeah.
And if you're talking too much, like I am, if you do that to God, then
I didn't want to say anything, but
if you do that to God, it's hard to delight in Him because you're just doing all the talking. It's certainly hard to listen if you're doing all the talking.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you ever go when you're walking slowly, not in an airport, do you ever go on what people sometimes call a prayer walk?
Yes, I love them, but my friends make fun of me because my idea of a prayer walk is like in central London, and you start out at Fortnum and Mason and end up at Peter Jones, and you window shop. But you do stop in every church you pass and pray and light a candle
Oh, that's cool.
and do a little devotion.
Oh, that's neat.
So that's my little customized
Like
prayer
a
walk.
progressive prayer walk dinner.
Prayer walk crawl.
Prayer walk crawl.
That's how I like to do it. But I can do 20,000. I mean, I can literally do 10 miles that way.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah. Well, when you're stopping every 10 minutes to get something to eat or drink,
Yeah,
that
you can
helps.
do that. You can do it that way. But if the traditional prayer walks are great too. I did part of the Canterbury Trail on my sabbatical. I know that probably shocked most listeners. I did a very small 5-mile part of it. But it had a big hill in it that I think it's like Kilimanjaro in my opinion. And I had a friend, he's great, he helped push me up. So that, because I had the wrong shoes, not so much because of the Humpty Dumpty physique, but
And did you, when you did that portion of it, did you have something in mind that you wanted to, like a verse you were focusing on or a problem you were mulling over?
I was. I had been really hurt by someone, and I wanted to forgive the person, and I really wanted to move. There's that metaphor of walking. I wanted to move on.
Yeah.
And at the top of the hill, which really my own Kilimanjaros, or just let me have my Kilimanjaro. I think it was probably like 206 feet at the pinnacle, but it felt like 20,600 feet. And especially when you had on loafers that were not meant for that sort of thing.
Oh, geez.
I didn't pack the right shoes that day. It was a surprise prayer walk. A friend took me on. And I got to the top of that hill in just outside of Guildford. And there's a beautiful ancient little chapel there. And a nun was there praying, and she came over to me, and she said, "May I pray for you?" And she put her hand, I said, "Of course, sister." And she put her hands on me, and she said, "You are carrying a burden that God is inviting you to leave here." Now, I wouldn't say that's coincidental. I would say that's providential. And it was really healing.
Wow.
And it is true, coming down was easy. It is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you left the burden there too.
I did. I really did. And people talk about that. And it's great when you experience it and find it to have happened.
But people could go on prayer walks in their own
You could do it. You could do it in
right?
Publix.
Yeah.
I mean, pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
You don't have to have something exotic to. Exoticism is one of the great fallacies.
Yeah.
That has beset all religions that think you must
go to another continent.
Yeah, that's just, you don't have to. You may.
Yeah.
God bless you. I'm all for pilgrimage. But the pilgrimage of your heart is the one you're invited to take wherever you are and whatever is ongoing.
It's time for a listener question. And here's what our listener wrote. She said, "I would like to learn more about Sancerre. Can you tell me more about it, including the correct pronunciation?" Which I might have not pronounced correctly. So I would also like to know the correct pronunciation.
Well, dear listener, rather than telling you more about it, I'll do you one better.
Oh.
Next podcast, next time on the pod, we will drink a Sancerre.
Oh.
And you said it correctly, Greer. But in the meantime, I'll tell you, Sancerre is we'll have map time. We'll have map time on the next episode.
We really need a map time theme song.
We do. It's like Sesame Street's number of the day.
Yeah. It's Elmo's World.
I used to love that. He's playing that organ. I'm like, it's got to be 12. I can just feel it. But rather, in the meantime, I'll let you know that it's how can I sound intelligent for once in this podcast? It's a hilltop appellation in the Loire Valley of France, and it's famous for crisp white wines. They do actually grow some other wines there, but it's known for Sauvignon Blanc, 100% Sauvignon Blanc. But they make some pretty cool Pinot Noirs. Well, let me ask you, flip the script here, dear listener. Why are you asking me this? Are you a Swiftie? Are you a Taylor Swift fan? Is that why you're asking me this? Because
the listener did not tell me that, but she could be.
She could be a Swiftie. Taylor Swift loves Sancerre.
Oh, I didn't know that. And I am a Swiftie. So.
My wife likes Taylor Swift and Sancerre.
Coincidence?
Yeah, she loves Sancerre, actually. Was that Tim McGraw 1990s? I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I try so hard. I can't rise above it. And then he talks about washing his truck because he loves her so much. And yeah, that's a great country hit in 96. But my wife feels that way about Sancerre.
Okay.
There was the documentary of the Eras tour, Taylor Swift's tour.
Yep.
A bottle.
I've heard of it.
I actually watched it and thought it was fascinating. They're of Domaine de Terrace Sancerre, and it went viral because it was seen in there as what she drinks.
I've only watched the first episode of
so
that.
You can.
I need to catch up.
Yeah, it went crazy. Like Google searches went wild. They sold out of it all over. I think it's restocked up now.
Wow.
But you can, and
you've tried that one?
Yeah, and it's good, and it's widely available. It's about $40.
Well, maybe we should.
Which is so interesting. A billionaire can have anything he or she would like. And that's just interesting to see what people like. And there's sometimes no rhyme or reason about it. Yeah. A pauper could like Lafite Rothschild that costs thousands of dollars. It doesn't necessarily relate.
Yeah. I wonder where she first had it.
I don't know. When we get her on our podcast, we can ask her. But maybe you're a Swiftie and wanted to
I'll text her.
Be with that. But yeah. You can taste the singer's favorite pour. We'll have a Sancerre next time on the pod.
Nice, and we'll learn more. Well, if you have a question for Father Charleston, you can email it to us at podcast@redeemersarasota.org, and we might ask it. And do you have any final tasting notes to share about today's wine, or any final takeaways about what we've been talking about?
Nothing really on the wine, but it's still fabulous and getting better as it opens. And I've had a couple of sips, actually, as we were talking. But as we were talking, I just want to leave you with a word of encouragement, dear listener. If you haven't started walking towards Jesus, just where you are now, pause and close your eyes and open your heart and just say to the living Lord, Lord, I want to love you and know you, and be prepared for an awesome, in every sense of the word, experience that awaits you now and can sustain you even in the life to come. So with that, I think I'll end by saying, Amen.
Thanks so much for joining us for Water into Wine with Father Charleston Wilson. We're looking forward to sharing more grace, more music, and more wine with you again soon. If you liked what you heard, follow the show on your favorite podcast platform. And if there's someone in your life, maybe a friend or a colleague or a family member, who might like to hear this episode, please share it with them. Water into Wine is produced by Church of the Redeemer in Sarasota, Florida. Audio engineering by Reed Corley of the Corley Company. Join us for our services, in person or via our live stream. And learn more at redeemersarasota.org/podcast. That's redeemersarasota.org/podcast.